عليكم السلام ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. طيب, we will start our master session, inshallah, today. We are in master session number 5. So I hope everything is okay. Do you have any questions before we start? فأي حد عنده أي سؤال أو أي شيء مسألة غير واضحة أو غير something is not clear or start to study يعني study أو بدأ يدرس and he want to ask some questions. I will just quickly review the sequence diagram because some students they ask about it. So I will just repeat myself from here, from the sequence diagram. And by the end of the master, we'll solve some kind of questions from some exams. We just keep, yani, the whole master session is just a review for you. And solving some questions from the exam, question problem that to show you how you will do through the exam, inshallah. So let us start by reviewing the sequence diagram. A sequence diagram is something like it should be happen sequential. Sequential means step by steps. Yani I have to finish message or step number 1, then only I will allow to go for step number 2, then only I will allow to go for student or message number 4. So think of this scenario. We have a students, we have a seminar, and we have a course. Students, first step, he has to enroll into the seminar. Then only they allow to be one of our students in that course. Then after that, he will get the seminar history. Then after that, he will be in the seminar history. Then he will be eligible for this course. Then he will be enrollment for this course. You will see that is what's meant by sequence. So it will be one after other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 messages should be running after each other. Each one will be waiting for the other one to finish, then only it will be start. So like that, we'll see sequential or sequence diagram. So we'll think for another, and that we call is a dynamic module or dynamic diagram. So here we'll speak about the starting dynamic module. A starting dynamic module, see in this example, we want to see one way to check the guest in the room. So the guest in the room, he will start from the user interface. That is the object name. And here the hotel name is the rest. So that is object name. So they will start. When you see this dot, that means the lifeline of this object is not yet start. When you see this rectangular, long rectangular, that means this is the lifeline of this object. So when this object starts sending message, then only will start calculating the lifeline of that. So here the first message will be check into the room. Check into the room. It will be sent also to the Ritz Hotel. And you see the dash line here. That means still the hotel is not running. He will start working, and when he receives the message from the user interface, then only they will start the timeline for these objects. This hotel will identify the guest by sending message to himself. Is this guest is eligible to be one of our guests? He paid the amount. Do we have then he will check, do we have a room free for this guest? So these two process or these two messages, they will be inside the hotel system. Then only he's identifying the guest and he have a free room, then only he will accept Jill as a guest. To accept Jill for specific room, so the system will send accept this guest into this room. So you'll see here in this timeline here, all this dash point means, dash line means the room object is not still running. It will be start running from here. When they will get the message of exception, then only it will be the lifeline of this object will be start. Then when this room is free, it will be occupied by Jill. So that message will be sent to the room themselves. So the room will be setting for a guest. Then Jill will be occupy this room. It will be maybe for 2 days or 3 days or week, whatever. So this is how our diagram will be running sequentially step by step. Is this diagram is clear for all of you? Do you have question? We are in the master session, yeah, Hibat Allah. Our master is already started. Here we have some requirement to draw a sequence diagram. We have to create some objects. The X object may be 3 objects, maybe 4 objects, maybe 2, maybe 1. So that we consider some kind of objects. Then we have to send some messages. We have to draw some object. We have to send some messages. Sometimes we need at least one self message. It's optional. It's maybe there, it may be not there. And here, this is an optional fragment, may we have, or an alternative fragment, or a loop fragment, or some kind of generalization. May will not have all of them in one diagram. May will have only one, may will have 2, may will have 3. So that depends on which kind of scenario we are drawing. So think of this scenario. They will ask us, think of this as an exam questions. They will say, develop a sequence diagram for the process of buying item at an e-commerce website with the following requirements. They will explicitly say for you, create 4 objects. And here they make it easy for you. They give you the name of the object. They give you user interface, website, database, and card. So here you have your objects. The name is already there. So don't use your name. You have to use this name because this is related to the exam. Then again, they told you create at least 6 messages. So you have to create at least 6. You can create 7 or 8, but no need for that. From my advice for you, just create the 6. Don't waste your time by creating extra message. No need for that. You will get marked for the 6 messages. And at least from out of 6, that means there will be 5. 1 at least will be self-message. So that means one object will send the message to themselves. So this is a requirement for the diagram. They ask you clearly put some optional fragment and one loop fragment. So here that there is no options for you. You have to put both of them. You have to put one optional fragment and one loop fragment. And they clearly specify for you the optional fragment will be check if the customer has discount code. And the loop fragment will be repeat the process adding item to the shop. So I'm going to the shop. I will keep putting into my cart until I will buy 2 or 3. I'll buy shoes. I will buy bag. I will buy watch. I'll buy 5 or 6 things. So until I finish shopping, then only that bag will be. So that will be a loop or BTB. So after I understand the diagram, then only I will go for how I will draw that diagram. So for drawing the diagram, he's explicitly say 4 objects. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 by the name which is already given from them. How you will make the sequence here that's related to your concept or your logic. You will make something, we all know how to go for shopping. We will open the interface, we'll browse for some item. I want to buy a bag or I want to buy a watch. I will keep browsing. Then I will keep selecting, adding item into my cart until I will finish. So that will be the loop here in this part. Then after my cart have been updated, I finish everything. So optional for me will be, do I have a coupon? Do I have some kind of discount? Do I have something extra? So I will go for this part. That's optional. Otherwise, if I don't have any discount, so this part will not be executed. Directly we go for process for the car, process for the order, and process for the payment or update and finish my item. So the logic of this scenario, it will be depends on you how you want to proceed. And here they'll give you options how you put the name of the messages. It will be for your options. You can write any name of the option. Browse the item, buy the item, look for the item, search for the item. That will be for your convenience. But the diagram should be logically clear and logically sequentially, and the objects should be clear. What is the first object, what is the second object, and what is the third objects. Okay? Here, Develop a sequence diagram here for purchasing a product. The same, I think this is for buying item, and this is a purchasing. It's the same concept. It will be look like each other. Here they will say develop sequence diagram for a purchasing product from an online shop. Also here it was a website. You see the name of the thing is different, but the concept and the logic is the same logic. Create 4 objects. Simply he say create 4 object. He give me 4 object, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my 4 object here. I will drawing here. 6 messages and 1 self. So this is simple. This is very easy. 6 message, you just see login. Here he will decide to put login first, then identifying the customer, then searching for the product, selecting the zone, service the zone, and deliver the product. Here you can say not login, you can say just searching for the item, like the previous scenario, identifying the item, put into my cart. Like that, you will keep creating your scenario. But here you see the difference here is clearly say A01, this is a product I want to purchase by a customer called John. So for that, I have to, as a John, I have to have an account, so I have to make a login by my username and password. Then only I will search for this product. Then if I find the product, then I will select the product and put it in the cart for John. So I will start serving John. He will start delivering the product by finishing the payment and finish all the process. Okay? Is this clear, people? If you have any questions or something not clear, you can just write it in the chat room. Okay. Here we'll have some kind of question. This is just to refresh our mind. They will give you some diagram like this. They will ask you what kind of diagram is this? So this is clearly, this is a sequence diagram. Sequence diagram. They may say list the main elements in this diagram. The main elements here, our objects, the 4 objects, our messages, the 6 messages here, and the objects here. And we know the dashed lines mean this is not live line. The rectangular long means this is a live line of the objects. The message inside the same object, this is a self message. So like that, you will just keep explaining this diagram. And this is just a question for you to understand what's going on. This is a very simple question. I don't think this will come in the exam. So what does a live line diagram represent? It represents that object have been running all this time. What sort of arrow means? This is arrow means I am going to send a message from user interface to this ABC online. This is a self message. This is sending a message from an online shop to a specific product like that. So you have to explain your diagram if some questions like that came to the exam. Here they say in the given diagram, what does the widening of a live line into a tall, thin rectangular that I already explained. So changing from the dash line to this long rectangular, that's mean this object have been active into this time and performing for that. On the dash line means I am waiting for any response or I am waiting for any message. So here they'll be waiting until I receive message, then only I will start B activation until I finish, then I'll return back for a dash line. Here they'll say how can we represent an object creation and deletion in the sequence diagram. As creation, we say that is like an M251. This is a constructor. In a deletion, that is mean a destructor. I think we discussed that last lectures. So just let us see this diagram. They will say, does this diagram represent a generalization sequence of the diagram? Please explain your reasoning. If it is not generalized sequence diagram, suggest modification to generalize it. So here our process is check-in. Our process is check-in. In this check-in, this is not a generalization because they're giving the name for each guest gel and a specific room. So how we will make the generalizations for that, we'll create something like, this is a generalizations. for some receptionists will do for a specific check-in. So for that, you will make either you will change identify guest by R, say J, check-in for the Ritz Hotel, free room, not specific room. You will say room number R or W or X. You will not give a name like Jill. You give just a name like X or Y or Z. By that, you are generalizing your diagram. You make this diagram can be running for any guest, Ahmed or Fatima or Hiba or any other name. That's what's mean by generalization. If you remember generalization into your class is something like, if we have faculty in Arab Oman University, and we want to we have a faculty for IT department, a faculty for business department, a faculty for English department. So that like that, we'll put a specification for each faculty. If we want to make a generalization, we'll just put one faculty. We'll say AOU faculty. Then under that faculty, we'll have the IT department, the business department, the English department, the deans, the associate professor, the assistant professor. Like that, you will keep specialization. So you will have only one class to generalize your data. Think also about a generalization, something like if you want to speak about fruit, you will create a class called fruit that will include all the fruits. Under that fruit, we'll have banana, we'll have apple, we'll have orange, different kind of fruit there. So generalization means they having some characteristics is generalized for all of them. They all fruit, they all faculty of the A. So like that, what's mean by generalization. Is that clear, people? Do you have any questions until now? Okay. Here we'll speak about what is mean prototypical interaction style. Prototypicals mean it is a generic form where you can model more than one scenario in the same diagram. So more than one scenario, that's mean by using parameter. Think of that like when we are calling a functions. When we say I want to call a functions a sum function. Think of like, let me write something here. Think if I have a function called sum, when I say sum for 5,6, that means I'm specifically, I want to calculate 5 and 6, and that would cost me equal, for example, 11. But if I want to make a prototypical for this, I will say sum for x, y. So by that, I can call this function for summation for any number. So that is called a generalization sequence diagram. So here, our generalization sequence diagram, that's mean when we are checking, we are not say checking for gel or room number like 5. We'll say check room number S or R. When we say identifying the guest, we are not saying gel, we say just G. When we search for a specific room, we are not searching for the room number 4, 5, 6. We are just say room R. If the room R is free, we'll accept the guest G. So like that, we'll make this diagram generalization, and that will say a prototypical interaction. So that diagram can be for anyone, Fatima, Ahmed, Muhammad, whatever. But this diagram only represents for gel here, gel and room number 401. Is the difference clear for all of you? So if that's clear, we'll move to the second type of diagram. We call 6 communications or collaborations diagram. The communication and collaborations diagram is something like that. That means our objects communicate to each other. So here we'll have 4 objects. Just a minute. Here we have a communications diagram. We have 4 objects here, a user interface, a guest, a hotel, and the room. They are communicate to each other. That means they will keep sending message to each other. So the user interface here will send a message to a guest. The guest will send a message to a room. A guest will send message to the hotel, and the interface send message to the hotel. So like that, they have been communicate to each other. That's called a communications diagram. Think about the communication diagram. There's no sequential here. You will see here a sequential diagram. It should be step by step following each other, and the message should be after each other, waiting to the first one and second one. For the communication here, they just keep talking. Think about just they keep talking to each other without waiting to each other. So that's here we want to show there will be a communication or there will be a relationship between all these objects. So that we call a communication diagram. For think about a fork and cascaded. We have two concepts in our diagram here, a fork and cascaded diagram. A fork is something like when you want to use a fork, let me go here for a fork and cascade. We'll go here. We have a job company, and we have a job, and we have a person. A company, it will be only one company having different kinds of job. For each and every job, we have only one person. So for that, if we want to go for a fork, we'll go for something like that. We'll have IBM company. It will to hire someone, say X, for this specific job, and his name is something 30, for example. For this company, again, IBM, they want to get a specific person. For this job, they want him specifically will be under 20 or 21. So like that, think about fork and cascaded. They will be different for each other. So how they will collaborate to our diagram, think of here, this is our user interface. Here we have 1, 2, 3 message sending from the user interface to this system and a ticket system. For the ticket system, we will have a passenger and a train. A passenger will get a ticket only, then only will be allowed to get into the train. In this scenario here, the passenger or the train ticket system will say, go into the train, then only I can be accessed as a passenger or take my ticket only. So think about that as a fork and cascaded. So for fork, we'll make a join for two things together. A cascaded will be one under another relationship. Here we have an example for questions. They will say, draw an equivalent communication diagram for the given diagram. So this is our given diagram here, sequence diagram. They want us to change to communication diagram. So first things you have to do, make sure you are putting the 4 objects, because here I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So here I'm drawing 1, 2, 3, 4. I will not miss any objects. First things. Then I will see how many messages here between user interface and online shopping. There is a message login. So I will make a login here. There will be identify customer here between an online and the product. So I will be identifying between the client and the product. It's only for the online. It's a self. This is a self message. And there will be another self message search product here. So they have only in self message. I have selected from online to product. From online to product, this is the message. I have serve from, this is self for the product. For the product, yes. So this is serve for the product. We have deliver product. This is from the product to the customer. So here we have a deliver from product to the customer. Like that, you are changing a sequence or a sequence diagram to a communications diagram. Is that clear for all of you? Do you have a question? And people, I always told you these things. And if you're attending the master session or if you're attending your class with your teacher, seeing what's going on, that is not enough. Before you go to the exam, you have to take a paper and pencil and read the scenario, close the drawing diagram, try to draw the diagram from your mind. Then only that you understand how the drawing is going on. I didn't want you to come to the exam hall and say, the exam is difficult, I can't understand the scenario, I didn't drawing, or you are drawing something wrong. By that you will miss a very huge number of marks, because the diagram have a very big marks in the previous exam. We don't know what will go next. And be sure when you are solving any problem or any diagram or any questions, that does not mean that question will become in the exam the same. They have the ability of changing the exam and changing the question related to their slide and related to the course. So don't be block mind, just memorizing the mock answer and come to the exam hall. Please, all of you, try to understand the subject clearly. Try to solve the problem from your mind by using your hand. That will make your exam more easy for you. Okay? And just one question I want to ask all of you. Where are you now? In which chapter? Can you tell me where are you with your faculties? In which chapter? And I want to remind you all to go and check the TMA. TMA is already there, ya Jama'ah. It's uploaded in the LMS. I already sent email for all of you. Read it, check it. If you have any question, you can get back to your teacher to explain for you anything. And please read it carefully and upload the TMA on time, inshallah. And we can discuss more details about TMA after the exam or next week. Here we have another example. They will say, given the following sequence diagram, the first questions convert the sequence diagram to a collaborations diagram. So we'll make the same things. We will have the four object, user interface, ticket system, train, passenger, put it into each other, see the messages, how they are going. Between the user interface and ticket system, we have three messages there. We have 1, 2, 3. So they will be 1, 2, 3 here. We'll have one self message, so it will be search train. We'll have a message between ticket system and the train, and we have one message between the ticket system and the passenger. So like that, you are moving from a sequence diagram to a collaborations diagram. They may ask you some question about specific diagram. So they will say, what kind of diagram is this? This is a communication diagram. What is the main weakness in this diagram given in the figure? That's, we can say, a sequence message is not clear. Sequence message is better than the collaboration diagram. That will show us how the message have been running specifically. In the collaboration diagram, we just only see how they are communicating to each other. That is the weakness of the communication diagram. They will say drawing a sequence diagram that's equivalent to the diagram in the figure. So you will see something here. We'll go for the vice versa. They will giving us a collaboration diagram, ask us to build a sequence diagram. So here we'll go, here they're giving us a sequence. We want to create the collaborations. Here, sequence collaboration. Here, vice versa. They're giving us this diagram, the collaborations diagram. They want us to build the sequence. We'll go for the same concept. We will just copy the four objects, put them in the specific order. Then you will think about logically where is the first message should be. The first message will be identifying the guest. So this is the first message sending from the user interface to the hotel. So you will put it here. And what is the second message will be after I log in, I have to make check-in. Before check-in, they have to find a room for me, then specify a specific room, then set occupied that room for me. So like that, you are changing or moving a collaboration diagram from a collaboration to a sequence diagram. Is that clear, people? Do you have any question? Here we'll go for unit number 7. That is more on dynamic modeling, state and activity. In unit number 7, I think all of you have to be finish already model number 7. And as you know, model number 8 is a self-study. So may some of you start number 9. Just I want to be sure that you all finish number 7 before the TMA. So a sequence diagram is having something called a fragment. A fragment is just a way of encapsulation a behavior inside the label of the books. The label of the book, we have 3 optionals. We have either OBT, that is mean optional, or ALT, that's mean alternative, or something loop that will be repeated more than one time. Think of this example. Consider the following scenario for a customer buying a book online. The customer would search for a book by its a title using the user interface. The system would check the available of the book. So here the first one, search, check. The system would retrieve the price of the book. The system would update the inventory. So we have 4 messages here. The customer would confirm the purchase. The system would update the customer. So this is the messages I have to create into my scenario. So they will ask me draw sequence diagram. This is good. I want to have with a minimum 4 objects. And here he didn't give me the name of the objects. You can get the name of the object from here. This is, you have a customer, 1 object. You have a system, the 2nd objects. You have books and something like that. So we'll go for the first one, draw a sequence diagram for the above scenario with a minimum 4 objects and 6 messages. So here I will go for that. The 4 objects, here he didn't give me the name of the object people, so you can put the name you want. It depends on customer. You have a customer, so you have a customer here. You will have a book, so you can write a book here. You have, this is called for a book online. You can just book a store or online book. This depends on you. And you have your user interface. The first step is they told the customer will search for a book by title. So here we'll search for a book. Then they will say, would check the availability for the book. So here the message is check availability from the book system on the bookstore. Then if I find the book, they will say retrieve the price. So they will retrieve the price to whom? To the book, about the book, to the customer. Then they will update the inventory, say the book is 10 real or 20 real. So they will update my invoice. Then I will they will say a customer would confirm the purchase. So here I'm confirming the purchase through the user interface. So the system would update the customer. So the system send a message to update me. That's a bookstore. So update me by the price and the book is there. So like that, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see, this diagram have only 6 messages and 4 objects. And this diagram is specifically clear. You can get the full marks if you draw the diagram like that. And the one things you have to take care about, the live line of each object. The live line of this object should be dot dot here. And the live line should be when this object is running, the other object should be not running. And here, this is the period of running. The period of running. Here we have some missing point. Here is stop running. Then again, start running the bookstore. So these small things will get you the full marks. So this is called a small specific details. You have to take care about all these specific details. Okay. Is this question is clear for all of you? Do you have a question? Yes, because a sequence diagram, I think it's in chapter 5. I think the sequence diagram in chapter 5, yeah. Just check if the sequence diagram is in chapter 5 or in chapter 6. If the sequence diagram in chapter 6 will not be included. but I think it's in chapter 5. It's in 6. Okay, no problem. So here we are drawing another conditional sequence diagram for implementing the below exceptions. This question not only for the media, Jama'ah, this question is for the entire course, and this you'll be preparing you for the final. يعني mid خلاص يعني we already prepare ourselves for the mid. Here I draw another conditional sequence diagram implementing the exceptions. If we have some exceptions here, the exceptions say if the book is not available, the system would suggest alternative book. So I'm searching مثلا for a software engineering book by John Smith. So they will say this book is not available. We have a software engineering by John X or John Muhammad or Muhammad Ahmed or whatever. So like that, they will give me alternative options. For creating an alternative option, they will give me something like, here I have to put an optional or alternative, and I will create the alternative messages sending here if I didn't find the book. So the book not found, so they suggested alternative book for me. So either I will accept it or not accept it. Here we see which of the below messages rely on an external identifier and which one is strongly coupled. So we'll see here in this diagram one way for our diagram, check in gel and check in gel. So which one is more stronger for identifications? So here we'll see our user interface will send for 1, 2, 3, 4 objects. This is the same scenario. One way check in guest into the room. We already did that. We know all about the precondition and the postcondition. A precondition, something should be initial state or happen before we go for something before, and postcondition, that something would be happen after. So for this kind of precondition and postcondition, we have to take care about it, and we have to understand who will be responsible for this precondition and postcondition. Depends on what techniques you have. We have 2 strategies for who will be responsible about the checking the precondition or checking the postcondition. For checking a preconditions or checking a postcondition, we have 2 strategies we can follow. Either we'll go for defense programming or go for a design by contract. We'll go for the first one, defense programming contract, defense programming or a design by contract. Both they are a strategy for applying the precondition and postcondition. The receiver can check the certain precondition and leave other to that check by the caller. So here we'll have 2 options. Either we'll go for defense programming or for design by contract. We'll go for the first one is defense programming. For defense programming, we'll say we have sender and receiver. Between them, there will be a message because always we know a sender will ask for some services. A receiver will give some services. So sometimes we say sender or client. Receiver will say receiver or supplier or provider. The most advantage of checking a precondition and postcondition in defense program, that will be the responsibility of the receiver to check everything, then only give a response to the sender or to the client. That is, we have some disadvantage for that. We'll put a lot of load for the receiver, and we make the sender or the sender like he just sitting without doing anything. We will put all the responsibility for checking the precondition and postcondition to the receiver. That will put some load to the receiver, and that may be difficult to implement. So this is for defense program. When we go for design by contract, Design by contract is something between two people, or think about a normal contract. Like I want to rent an apartment. So as a person or a client, I will go for the owner. I will make a contract between me and him. I will say I will pay 1,000 real per month. You will give me your apartment. I will be living there. So like that, a sender, I will check myself. Do I affordable to buy to put 1,000 real monthly, or I cannot do that. The receiver will not check me if I have money or not. He will say, yes, okay, I will give you the apartment for 1 month, well, by 1,000 real. Then only I will give the 1,000 real, then only he will give me the apartment or the key of the apartment. The next month, if I can't pay, he will immediately say, you have to go out of my apartment. So that means I cannot affordable to pay 1,000 real each and every month. So like that, we are putting some, here we are dividing the responsibility between a sender and the receiver. The sender himself will check the precondition. The receiver will check only the post condition. They will deliver the post condition. So here the advantage is we are dividing the responsibility between the sender and the receiver, or we will treat them equally. They are equally in the responsibility. Okay, is that clear, people? Do you have questions here? So if you don't have a question, just we'll have a break for 10 minutes and we'll come back. Fine. We'll go for some example, another more example for the questions of the exam. خليني بس أفتح الأسئلة اللي عندي. طيب. Here we'll have some another example for some questions. يا جماعة, I want to mention again and again. See, this example or this question ما معناتها إنه the exam will be the same. إحنا here just we are showing you يعني a way of thinking, how you think as a student, how the questions it may become like that in the exam. But the question, it may be changed, the way of the getting the exams itself, it may be changed. So be prepared for anything. Your job is to study your slides and your book and understand the course clearly. If you understand everything, then only you can solve each and every problems, okay? So here, think of this example like they will say, given the interface, registerable, that can be used in all systems, that includes registrations of any kind, develop a class diagram. So here we are a class diagram that shows 3 different types of registration, create 2 realization as you find suitable, and the relation to an account class. So just I want to maximize a little bit. I hope now it's more clear. I am here. You hear me? Someone say there is no voice. Do you hear me now? Okay. So here our question will say, given the interface registerable, that can be used in all systems that include registration of any kind, develop a class diagram that show 3 different types of registration, create 2 realizations as you find suitable, and relation to the account class. So from here, they'll say registerable. This is an interface. So this is our interface class. You see the interface, how we build an interface class in the UML diagram. It should be something like that. Clearly, you have to put the word interface between these brackets, triangle brackets. So here our class account. And when you create a class diagram, ya jama'a, it should be clearly, this is a class diagram. How I will know that? The rectangle should be divided into 3 parts. The first part will be the name of the class. The second part will be the properties. The third part will be the method. Either it is there or not. Here he put it clear. It is empty, but it should be there. You cannot just draw a box and say this is a class. No. When they ask you to draw a class diagram, it should be a class diagram using the UML, Unified Modeling Language. So a class diagram in the UML will be a box divided into 3 parts. The first part will be the name of the class. The second part will be the property. The third part will be the method. Either it is there or you leave it empty. Same for the interface. So he will have the registerable. They have 2 ways of registerable, buyer and seller. So a buyer can be registered and the seller can be also registered. So we'll have a 3 class diagram. Your account, registerable as a buyer or a seller. So simple diagram like that show you understand the scenario and show that you are understanding how you will draw a class diagram and what's mean by if you have a registration, 2 realizations from that. So I can register as a buyer or can register as a seller. Okay. Another example here, we'll have create a design activity diagram for the process of registering the course with a following minimum requirement. Normally, I say when I saw a question like that, when they say registering course, that will be easy for the students because the students will understand how they will register to the course. So they can have in their mind, the logic will be clear. And if they say, creating an account in Rajpiban, also this will be an understandable scenario. buying from the online website. Why they using these scenarios? Because they know you as a person, you already understand the logic of this concept, understand what's mean by registering the course, understand what's mean by creating account, understand what's mean by buying item from the online shopping. So think about that. They want you to understand the logic because they want you to draw something logically. They didn't want to make you everything difficult, ya Jama'a. When they put the exam, they didn't want you to fail. Don't put that in your mind. They want you to understand, and they want you to show that you understand the course, and they want you to get marks. That's simple. So our course, registration course, we all know how to register the course. But also he will give us some rules. They will say, you must use swimlab to represent two roles. So I have two persons. Two rules will be, one of them is a student, he left the second for you, you can select whatever you want. You must use a synchronization bar, at least one. So that's mean two messages, join them into one thing. You must use decision mode, so that some decision should be there, and merge nodes. You must use, when they say you must, people, يعني it should be there. يعني if we say your diagram don't have synchronization, that means you will lose mark. Don't have a decision or merge, you will lose marks. Don't have 5 activity, you will lose marks. Must means it should be there in the diagram. This is the word must. So I have to have 2 rules, synchronization bar, decision node with merge node, 5 activity, and make sure to add start and end. This is a notice from them. If I am him, I will not put this. It should be clear when you want to draw an activity diagram. Okay, so we'll see how we will draw the activity diagram here. So as Wimlan, he say one of our rules should be students. So we put a students here. The second, he put advisor. We can put a system. We can put LMS system. Whatever you want, you can put. Or use system, because he didn't mention clearly the second rule. He mentioned clearly the first rule, it should be a student. That's why I always told the students, please, if you forget something, return to the scenario. From where we'll get this 2 rule? He mentioned one of them is a student, one of them. So he left the second for my option. He will mention put 5 activity. So here I will put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 activity. As I told you, you can put more, but no need for that. Just stick to the 5. They will say, make sure that add and start and end. So we have the start and we have the end here. They will make sure synchronization bar, he's better. He's using 2 synchronization bar here. He will say, contact the advisor to registration of the course. That's what we did in Arab Open University, for example. Prepare a student's course. This is the advisor. He will do this. He will have the 2 information from a student and from the system. Then he will advise the student by the course. Then he will send that advice he will check that for the student, if this is available for the student, suit for his time. Then he will register the student, he will register the course. If it is not good for him or suitable for his time, so he will not register to the course. So, and this is a simple scenario for a registration course for the student, and that's we called an activity diagram. Is this activity diagram is clear for all? This question is clear for all of you? Do you have a question? If you have a questions, please write in the chat room. Bye. Okay, we'll go for next question. A next question say, consider the following scenario for customer buying a book online. The customer would search for a book by its title using the user interface. The system would check the availability of the book. The system would retrieve the price of the book. The system would update the inventory by reducing the number of available books by 1. The customer could confirm the purchase. The system would update the customer. So they may repeat the scenario, but keep adding something to that scenario. adding 1 or 2 steps. So the first step, they will say draw sequence diagram for the above scenario with a minimum 4 objects with 6 messages. We already draw that before. So this is our drawing messages, our sequence diagram. 4 object, 1, 2, 3, 4. Search for a book, check for availability, retrieve the price, update the inventory, confirm the purchase, and update the account. Okay, we did just this now before. We'll go for another questions here. You will ask, draw a simple use case. This is in the mid-exam use case diagram with one actor, receptionist, to represent only the following task. The receptionist can modify the room type. The receptionist can extend reservation duration. To do the above 2 tasks, the receptionist must perform an availability check and make sure to use proper stereotype to represent this shared behavior. So a stereotype means include or exclude. So for include, that's something when he's saying to do above task, receptionist must. You see word must, that means something mandatory should happen. So if mandatory, so I will use a stereotype include. If it say the receptionist may check the availability, so that we'll say extend or use the different options here. So here for a three, we have 3 messages here or 3 tasks. A receptionist is our actor because when they say use case, I am using the simple actor and the oval design for messages. And they just a line for showing my link with no arrows here. So I will say the modify room type. This is the first message. Activity, sorry. The second activity is extend reservation duration. And he simply put it like this for you. So this is the name of the activity. Don't change it. So modify room type, I will say modify room type. Don't change just for me in the drawing modify. When they give you names like this between the brackets, you have to write it like this. It should be modify room type. Extend reservation duration, it should be extend reservation durations. Availability check, that's mean include availability check for pause, for modifying the room type, and for extend the reserve. From where I get this is 2 activity they have to do there, because in the 3rd point he say to do the above 2 means modify and extend. The receptionist must perform availability. Suppose they will do like this. If they will say only if the receptionist want to modify the room, they have to check availability for the check. So I will not do this here. I'll do only for that. So reading the scenario, that is the most important part for you into the exam. Read and draw. Read and draw. Okay? Is this question, and this is just example for questions, people. Is this questions is clear for all of you? Do you have any questions? If you have any questions, please drop it in the chat room. And one more things I want to mention for you. Please, when you go for the exam hall, please read the instructions. Please read the instructions. Instructions mean you will know how many part is your exam. Is divided to how the marks have been divided into the exam hall. Then you have to clearly mention writing your name and your idea. And please be sure when you are putting the multiple choice MCQ into, put your answer into the booklet sheet of the booklet answer. Don't write it in the exam paper. Write it into the answer sheet. Please make sure for that. If you didn't copy your answer, you will lose your marks. This is a rule and regulations for the university. So please take care about all these steps. And as you all know, normally the exam, it may be changed, the exam will be out of 60, divided to 2. So you will get out of 30 because the midterm will be out of 30. And check how many pages you have into the papers. And be sure that you get the 5 or the 6 pages into the exam, because we didn't want you to lose some marks because you missed some paper in the exams. Okay? Anyone else have any questions or want anything to ask about it? I will go through for this class diagram questions to remind you all. We'll see the first class diagram questions. A class diagram questions will be giving you here something like a class diagram. For a draft class diagram, you see, I want you to notice always he will draw the diagram by 3 parts. That's mean class diagram. It should be 1, 2, 3 part. Square separated into 3 parts. That is very important to notice because this is an class diagram. So they will ask some modify, some associated, reflect following. Make sure justify your modification. You have to add use composition, use aggregation, use navigability, use qualified association. So how you will do something like that, you will keep add to your diagram. For example, here we add the compositions between the faculty and the university. If the university is gone, the faculty will be not there. We'll add a university and aggregation between the university and the student. The university will be closed, the student should be there. We add a qualified associations identification is ID of the student. That means a unique identification. And they add again composition here between the course grid and the transcript. You have to finish the course grid, then only you will get the transcript. So you can add whatever you want, but should be logical. Yani it should not be like this the same, but you have to add something logic. Another class diagram question that is for showing you classes, 4 classes. Draw class diagram, dental clinic system in generalization. A dental clinic system will be having patients, doctor, services, staff, equipment. Doctor may be dentist or orthodontist. Generalizations means a doctor can be a sterilizist or dentist. So that is the generalizations here. Association, that is the relationship here between each and every classes. A multiplicity will show here for each doctor will have a lot of services, 1 to many. For each patient will have multiple services. Each services, multiple service will be managed by multiple people. A services should be compositions by the staff. If the staff is not there, so will not have any services. So like that, think because he didn't give us a specific detail. So just he say a dental clinic system. So you will think about any dental clinic system into your mind and put some relationship and put some classes and some multiplicity for that diagram. This kind of question in the exam, if it came, it's easy for the students. If you understand what's going on, you will get high marks for that because whatever you draw, logically acceptable, it will get you a good marks, inshallah. So we'll go for this questions here. They will say this is our object diagram, a class diagram, sorry. So for this class diagram, you see separated into three parts: the class name, properties, and method for each class. Maybe they will ask you some question about the classes, about the relationship for these classes. Like we'll say object which classes have field name address. Do hourly employees have office? So you will check here for the classes. So if you check for hourly employee, this is hourly employee. They will ask instance have offices, instantiation. There's no offices here for the hourly employee because they are a part-timer employee, so they will not have specific office. But for the normal employee, they will be having offices. They will say list all attributes and method for salary employee classes. Where is the salary employee classes? The said method attributes, so they have a weekly pay attributes, and they have, because this is a come from an employee, they will have employee ID. This is a properties, and employee IDs came from the person, so they will have name and address. So notice that this is inheritance. Salary employee inherits from the employee inherits from the person. So when they ask you about salary employee, they get reason. They don't want you to see, just see weekly pay. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 properties, but I have one here. So from where it came? Salary employee inherits from the employee. So I have this property with me. Employee inherits from the person. So I have this 2 with me. So I have 2, 1 plus 1. So I have 4. A method, I have 2 here, set week and move office. This is 2. I have 2 here, hire and fire. I have 2 here, set and so I have 6. So be careful. The question, you think the question is very easy. Why they ask me about the attributes and method? But it will be tricky, easy and tricky. So think like that. Do you understand? Do you have any questions, people, until now? هل هنالك سؤال? Do you understand these questions? Okay. Here they will say list all classes whose instance can use to the method fire. So I will see where is fire. So employee can use a fire. Hourly employee can use a fare because it's inheritance from, and salary employee can also use a fare. So I have 3 classes. How many objects can be associated with a building object? So I will go for a building objects. This is office. So for each building, I have multiple offices. So I have many offices. How many employees are associated with a given offices? So I will go for the office. You will see for each office will have only 1 employee occupied. So like that, you have to return back to your diagram. Okay. Is that clear, people? Do you have any questions until now? I just returned for this to help you in the mid. This is some question related to the class diagram, and the class diagram will be included in the midterm exam. Here, another example. You will have, this is our class diagram. So they will ask, what kind of diagram is this? This is a class diagram. They will ask, does this diagram consider as a static or dynamic? We all know a class diagram is a static diagram. It will be only describe the classes, elements as a classes in the system. So I have bank. This is as a class, customer, debit card, current account. All these things represent as a classes. They will be showing some relationship, associations relationship, and it does not describe the behavior on the time. So here, there's no sequence diagram. When we go for a message during the time, so we'll go for sequence diagram. But here we just show there will be a relations between the bank and the customer and the bank and the credit without no details. Either here we didn't mention what will happen between the bank and the customer, what will happen between the bank and the debit card, and like that. Either you will see just here they are writing, sorry, they are writing only messages or manages or maintains. This is look like little bit fake. There's no details into this and how it will happen and from where I will go. The debit card will send to the bank or vice versa, because here there's no arrows. There are no direction for the arrow when we are going for the class diagram. It's just a static model, describe the element of the system and their relationship, and does not describe the behavior over the time and how they are react to each other. Okay, is that clear, people? Do you have any questions? Here is another example. They will say extend the above diagram, such as ATM info, identify many ATM transactions where withdraw transaction and transfer money are two types of ATM transactions. ATM transaction modify accounts, add any required rule, name, and multiplicity. So you will modify the diagram from here, from this design to this design. You will explain more details about each and every relationship between them. They will say add ATM transaction modifier. The withdraw, you will add the withdraw here. Transaction and transfer money here. They'll be related to the ATM machine. You will add the ATM machine here, or the ATM info. It's just here alone. We will add ATM transaction. Either we will withdraw or make transaction. We can add more also, put some money into the ATM machine. They will create, the account will be the same, saving account. There's no relation here. So here, the account will get modified from the ATM. Either I will add money or I will drop some money. So like that, you will keep adding for the scenario. They will give me a small scenario here. I'm adding this part here. This is the extra I have to add, included, because they say extend. Extend means I will add more to the diagram. So I'm adding this part. It depends on what explanation they will tell to me. Is this clear, people? Do you have any question? If you have any questions, please write in the chat room. Okay, people, I think this will go for the last one. They say what is the maximum number of the clubs that member could belong to at the same time. So this is a member of this is a club. As a member, you will be only in one club, so we'll have one club. Is it allowed to have a club without any team? So we'll have a club with no team because we have asterisk, it will be 0 or asterisk. What are the attributes of the class playing member? Playing member, this is a playing member. attributes, weights and heights, weights and links, sorry. Inherits from the class member, so we'll have name, age, and social situations, and the play number also. So like that, you will think about your diagram. If they ask you a question, it should be related from here, and that will be from part of the short question. You will get high marks, 5 or 6 or 10 marks by understanding the diagram clearly. Okay. They say what is the meaning of the arrow on the association between club and the team. So this is club and the team. They will say a club, the class club can send message to an instant class of the team because the arrow in this way. They say what is the type of association between team and playing member. We have the team and playing member. So it's a qualified because a team will have only, for each playing member will have only playing number as a qualified association. That's like an ID for each student. How can we model the following invariant? The weight of playing member should be at most 100 grams. So that will be applying as an invariant to the class playing member. Here we have to add the invariant, and we simply say cell weight should be less or equal 100. That should be inside the playing member here. And you can draw it if you, I don't think they are drawing, no. So think about like that. The last question about the class diagram, it will show, this is the original diagram, and 1 or 4 diagram from here. They will say diagram 1, is it valid or not valid? Depends on what we see here. They will say diagram 1 is not valid because any member should be 6 years old at least. But here we have a right an age of 5. Here we say the age is greater than or equal 6. Diagram 2 is valid. It's correct. Depends Jasmine associated member in AI Arab Club, so that's correct. Diagram 3 is not valid. When we say it is not valid, you have to give a reason. Anas, which is member linked with a team, but there is no association between class member and the team. Class member and the team. Member and the team. There's nothing here between association and the team. Diagram number 4, it is not valid also because instance of the playing member could have exactly one link with an instance team, which is violated in this project diagram. So like that, I hope I give you a good hint about the questions. And I hope you all prepare well for the exam. And I wish you all the best in the exam hall. Anyone has any question regarding the TM354 or regarding the exam or regarding the TMA or regarding anything before I close the session? Do we have a sequence diagram for midterm exam? Sequence diagram is coming in section, as some of your friends say it's in section 6. Just let me check. This file is very big, people. It's around 400 pages. I cannot send it to all of you, and this is will be for whole the semester. This is just an example. You can just attend the recorded. I think chapter 6. Okay, if you don't have any other questions, just I will take your attendance. Be with me. Download the attendance list. Thank you for your attendance. See you next week, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. And I wish you all the best in the exam hall.